Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
How's it going? What just happened to you? Hold on.
I got a face hugger stuck in my throat.
Wait, what?
That's what those things are.
I understand what they are. I just am confused how you got an entire face hugger in your throat. That's not really how they operate.
I'm sorry. It's in there. I don't know what to tell you.
Now we have to throw you into a furnace.
Okay. See you later.
Just throw yourself into a furnace because I don't really want to do that to you.
Yeah, that's true. You just need to treat it like a high dive, but you only get one shot.
Are you going to rate me out of 10?
But make sure that you get the Jesus imagery down on your way down.
No problem.
Because like I said, if you mess it up, you don't really get to try again.
Yeah, that's true. I got to be dramatic as hell. This is my last thing going out of this life. See you later.
Have you guys ever looked into what actually happens if you jump in lava?
Nope.
You die super slowly and super painfully.
Oh,
I would assume so.
that sounds awful.
No, but people assume that your system just shuts down or whatever, but it doesn't. It's all the water in your body just vaporizes, and you get instant 3rd-degree burns, but you're still alive.
And then you probably suffocate, but it takes a while.
Ugh.
That's probably how you die, right? Would be.
I think so. There's a really interesting YouTube video about it, actually.
Where they just throw people into a volcano and see what happens.
Have you guys ever seen the video of them throwing water balloons into a volcano?
No.
They explode violently. It's crazy.
That's terrifying. I hate volcanoes.
Yeah.
It's one of my biggest fears.
Are volcanoes?
What?
Yes.
Well, I'm just saying, if the world goes under, right? Nuclear winter, whatever, and I make it into a bunker and I live through the nuclear half-life and I can come out and the world is okay, I really don't see the downside to starting a cult where throwing virgins into a volcano is a pretty important part.
You don't see the downside?
No, I think that'd be pretty rad, honestly. You know what I mean? Oh, volcano god, accept our offering. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
I mean, what else are you going to do with your time?
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, there's not going to be any more Reddit. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah. In any case, hello and welcome to this very special edition of We Watch Movies and Then Talk About Them, where we didn't watch a movie, but we're still going to talk about it. I mean, we did watch a movie. We just didn't watch it together.
We're going to talk about lots of movies, though.
We're going to talk about a few movies. This is something that's been on our minds over the past few weeks, ever since we did an entire episode on Ridley Scott's 1979 horror sci-fi picture Alien. In case you didn't know, there's a whole franchise of Alien movies, and we watched a lot of them. We did not watch Alien Resurrection because I guess it's trash, is what people say. So I'm not going to bother with that. And we did not watch AVP, unfortunately, because although that movie is rad, I don't think it fits directly into the Alien timeline. So, my name is Andrew Westonsko. I am the host of this here podcast. I am joined at my right hand in life and in all things by Becca.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going. I'm tired today, but I'm here.
You're here,
Mm-hmm.
and we appreciate it.
Yeah.
And at my left hand by Sid.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I wasn't late today.
You weren't late today.
Yay.
Nope. I was early and they thought I'd be late and I'm very offended.
Where are we sitting on the existential dread meter today? Now keep in mind when you answer this that I just bought my tickets for Midsummer.
And I didn't. I'm probably a 7.3.
Okay, so 73%. We've been doing percentages.
Well, I didn't know that.
We've answered this question every week for the last 6 weeks.
No,
It's been 2 weeks.
It's always been percentages.
has it been?
Yeah, 73% though.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's been a pretty okay day.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Righto. Today we will be discussing really most of the Alien franchise. The movies we will be encompassing are Alien, Aliens, Alien Supertext 3, Prometheus, and Alien Covenant. All of which star an alien.
A xenomorph.
Well, kinda. Not really for Prometheus.
Well, Prometheus has aliens in it, and they are kind of the stars.
Yeah, true.
All right, and everybody, I want you to be ready because we're gonna do a hot take right here. We're gonna do a group hot take. Don't burn yourself in these hot takes. And we are all on the count of 3 going to say the name of the worst movie that we watched this week. All right, are we ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Alien
3.
Perfect.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah. It was not good.
It was not good.
I'm so sorry,
It's
David
so
Fincher.
long.
Did you watch the extended version?
Unfortunately.
That's because that's the only one I could find, and I was so bored by the end.
Oh my gosh.
We were just like talking through it, but
Yeah.
like the last hour, we were just like,
When
"This
it-
is so stupid.
When
Why are
like
you doing
all
this?"
when the bishop guy showed up, I just like was skipping 30
Yeah.
seconds. I was just like, I don't care. This is boring.
Very boring.
And honestly, on the drive up here, I was like racking my brain to remember what happened in the end because I didn't remember.
Ripley throws herself into the fire.
Well, I got it now, but
And what's his face gets shot. Butch or whatever.
What?
What's his name?
Bishop?
No.
Morse?
Morse. Yeah.
Oh.
The only survivor?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody got shot.
He gets shot.
or-
And apparently in
somehow.
Alien Resurrection, they resurrect Ripley and by doing so also resurrect the alien that was inside of her because they want to try and make a weapon out of it because apparently you can just resurrect things out of furnaces.
Yeah, that doesn't seem
That doesn't make
right.
much sense.
Like-
Especially because in every other movie, the xenomorphs die by fire. Like,
Well, no, they die by getting sucked out of airlocks.
oh yeah, that's
Or
fair.
just,
But like if they get burned, like,
Yeah, they don't enjoy getting burned.
like fire is one of the
Aliens,
ways.
yeah, she burns down a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, let me give a little bit of context here before we just jump in and start crapping on Alien 3 because it really is a very, very bad movie. We, in the weeks since we did, this is kind of a giant group-wide revisionist corner, I feel like.
Yes.
Hey, I didn't bag on Alien.
Sid did not bag on Alien to her credit.
I did.
And we originally were just going to have Becca and I do like a special little episode talking about the Alien franchise, but then we're like, hey, Sid also likes to talk about movies, which is why she's on a podcast about it. And so we're like, we should just do an episode. so that's what you get here. Becca, more than anybody else, really bagged on Alien.
Yes.
I second most bagged on Alien. Mostly, my biggest beefs, you can go listen to the episode. My biggest beefs with Alien were just like a lot of things didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like why there was a cat there. I still can't get over that.
the cat doesn't bother me.
The cat bothers me so much.
Okay.
Also, why it was raining on a spaceship. That really bothers me. Because even if it's like, oh, it's condensation off of whatever machinery, like they're harvesting
want
that
that.
water. You're just gonna have water go to waste.
I guess.
Also, I've thought about this. Why is there a 10-minute timer with a 5-minute no take backsies zone on the self-destruct?
I don't even
don't
remember
know.
what you're
Excuse me.
referencing.
Remember at the end when she decides to blow up the ship?
And
And
then
it's
she
like-
decides to not blow it up.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like T-minus 10 minutes. And then 5 minutes into the 10-minute countdown, it's like, nope, no take backsies. Like, shouldn't you be able to reverse the self-destruct up to the self-destruct?
Probably.
Yeah. That wasn't a big deal for me.
Just seems like bad design. I don't know.
But yeah.
In any case, there was a lot of things in Alien that didn't make sense. We bagged on it. Becca likes The Thing. Surprise, surprise. So it made her dislike Alien. In the weeks since, we have watched Aliens, Alien 3, Prometheus, and Alien Covenant, and have since come around in a lot of ways, I think. So we just want to kind of go over the Alien franchise as it stands, what we like, what we don't like, that kind of thing. So we're not going to go super in-depth onto any of the movies, but maybe we start chronologically and start with Prometheus. And just kind of go over things briefly. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Sure.
So, Prometheus is rad.
Yeah. Prometheus and Covenant are the best ones, I think.
Hands down. And I think a lot of that is just because they're more modern.
I disagree.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think is the best one?
Aliens.
Aliens is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can rank them later, but Aliens is up there for me too.
I mean, yeah, I did really both like, I did really like them, and it is definitely enhanced just because it's more modern and it looks better and it's just all around, better filmed. But yeah, they're pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think what it really comes down to me, and it might be even better just to kind of discuss Prometheus and Covenant together, because they are pretty much direct sequel. I guess they take place 20 years apart, but not much happens in between. And what happens in between is revealed in Covenant. So
yeah.
In any case, I think what it really comes down to is that in the other three Alien films, Alien, Aliens, and Alien Supertext 3.
Wouldn't that be Alien Cubed?
Alien Cubed, that's what we'll call it now. There is not a single character as compelling as David. And I think that's kind of what I latch on to with the newer ones.
Yeah.
Is David is just such a rad character.
He is really good.
And I think in a lot of ways, I personally vibe pretty heavily with him just because his philosophy is almost like, and if you want more explanation on this, go listen to our episode on Blade Runner 2049. But he's almost kind of like a counterpoint to the philosophy of that movie, in that that movie is really concerned with what it means to be human and to have a soul. And that movie asserts basically that to have autonomy and to act of your own free will is what it means to be human and have a soul. Whereas David takes it, he thinks that to create is essentially what it means to have a soul. And he's obsessed with creation, whether it be art, music, and eventually life. So he kind of takes it in a different direction, and he goes about it in just a little bit of an evil way. But I like that on top of being good action horror films, there is some sci-fi philosophy behind it. And I feel like that's something that's really missing from the other movies.
Yeah, kind of like with the other ones, it's just there's this alien, we're all gonna die, and then they kill it and it's fine. But in the Prometheus and Covenant, you can kind of all Prometheus is about is finding out where we come from. And it's also interesting because at the same time David's having this journey, and he's just well, I want to create something too. So yeah, I definitely think the newer ones allow for them to really dive into themes, and yeah.
And that's when I look to sci-fi, that's what I look for, is what is the movie trying to say using the story as a vehicle, whereas the first three are just all plot. It's a vehicle for itself, basically.
And I think it depends on what you're really looking for in Alien, because Covenant specifically and Prometheus as well talk a lot about those deeper themes. But when Sid mentioned Aliens, if you're just going for just a straight sci-fi thriller movie, Aliens might be the best one.
Oh, 100%. And I don't know. I still go with Covenant.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I feel about Covenant, because I really enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as Prometheus. And I enjoyed it about on the same level, but for different reasons as Aliens. So I'm trying to, I don't know.
I feel I guess as long as we're discussing both of them at the same time, I do kind of want to focus on Prometheus just a little bit. I feel like Prometheus is what Force Awakens tried to do, which is a really successful homage to another film in the franchise, where Force Awakens just ended up basically retelling A New Hope kind of beat for beat. Prometheus does a lot of the same things as far as this is a team, and they were very clearly directed to this place by the company. Like, yeah, there's scientists that are interested in it or whatever, but it's all the company's interests. And the company has this ulterior motive with the alien stuff that's there, and then things go awry, and there's a strong female protagonist who kind of makes it through, and all these kind of things. And then they kind of throw the wrench in with David. Like, it was really cool to see, I guess, plot throwbacks to Alien, but told in a more modern and, I think, successful way.
Well, and Prometheus was really exciting for me after watching Alien because it just like helped me understand things more in Alien. Like, it helped me understand the xenomorph
Yeah,
better.
it makes you start to care like about the xenomorph in a weird way.
Mm-hmm. And just like the things that would happen, you'd be like, oh, like, yes, of course. Like, this is the same ship.
Well, and they show like the room with the engineer seat in the middle of it that you see in the first one. Like, it's just there's so many cool callbacks. Yeah.
So that's, well, so wait, I'm just trying to like walk it back. So I watched Alien and didn't like it, and then I almost didn't watch Aliens because that was the next one we watched, right?
Yeah, I almost watched it without you.
And then I'm glad I did because I loved it.
Because Aliens is rad.
And then watching Prometheus, that's when I like really, I think, fell in love with the whole franchise.
Same.
Was just like wrapping it all together. It was like giving more meaning to the xenomorph.
Well, yeah, it flexes the universe a little bit. Like, it expands on everything from the other two movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't know. It was just so exciting to watch that. And then I think where Covenant might have let me down a little bit is just I was expecting it to be a little bit different, and I didn't think that it was David that like created the xenomorphs, and I still don't. But
he did.
I know, but there were xenomorphs in Prometheus.
Well, they were like a different,
yeah,
like strain of alien, because they all have different names too.
Like the white ones are the protomorphs.
Yeah, and there's like neomorphs or.
So,
okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, Sid, but how I understand it is that the black goo is a bioweapon created by the engineers to basically go into a species, imitate characteristics of them, and it spits out a blank morph, right?
Okay.
So that's what the bioweapon was designed to do. Mm-hmm. So
and
the
engineers
xenomorphs
created that.
The engineers created that, yeah.
And then it went awry.
And then then David took it.
Yeah.
Like killed that whole planet, and then he started experimenting.
He starts experimenting, and so David made the face hugger basically as a way to spread as a way for the xenomorph to, I guess, populate. So the xenomorph is what happens when the bioweapon gets to a human, which is why they're different in Covenant, I think.
Okay.
But the white ones do come out of people, right?
Yes, I'm trying to.
From the spores.
Yes. So I don't know. I kind of just assumed that, like, he just made a whole bunch of different species.
Oh, that could be.
Maybe just like testing things out. But also, like, one thing is like, the things in the air seemed. I don't know. I guess I kind of assumed they were like natural to the planet, but that wouldn't really. I mean, maybe when he like released it all into the world, they like went and populated somewhere else.
That's what I understood it as, was that basically he just gave them free reign, and the black goo has some sort of decision-making process.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it weaponized itself or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But basically, from what I understand. And I don't know if this is canon or not. This is all Reddit things. But basically, who's the doctor from Prometheus?
Shaw.
Basically, he took Shaw's ovaries and used those to create the eggs for the face huggers. Like mixing it with the black stuff. And then that's what made the face hugger, which creates a xenomorph.
Okay, so this is also something I wasn't really sure on from Prometheus is Shaw mentions that she can't have kids. And then her and what's the other guy's name?
I don't remember.
Her and her boyfriend have sex and she gets pregnant with like the alien. So I guess like is she only like she's not able to have like a human kid, but she can have an alien kid?
I guess so. I don't know because like you see her all chopped up on David's table, and he talks about the aliens like he's the father and she's the mother. So that's what people on Reddit were saying was basically like it's not explicitly said, but that's what the takeaway is that he used her ovaries mixing with the black goo to create the face huggers, which makes the xenomorphs as we know them.
Okay.
So he feels responsible for the xenomorphs, where like the bioweapon sure reproduces and makes monsters and whatnot, but like the xenomorphs, David created them.
Okay. And that's why he's fine like just killing like the smaller ones.
Exactly.
Okay.
But he doesn't want to kill the big ones.
Yeah.
But the queen xenomorph can only come from like the womb.
I'm
of a
thinking
woman,
I'm
right?
thinking that will get answered in Awakening.
Okay.
Maybe.
Because it's only the queen xenomorph is only in Aliens and Alien 3.
That's right.
So it's not that important, but
But she has to be somewhere because basically Awakening is going to bridge the gap between Covenant and Alien. So the end of Awakening has to be engineer with a dude burst out of his chest and a queen to lay all of those eggs in the engineer ship on the desolate moon the alien takes place on. Like that's basically how Awakening has to end. So we have to bridge from David having access to all of the colonists to that.
so David's gonna go find the engineers.
That's what I think.
That's really cool.
Because Ridley Scott announced that Prometheus was like way back when Covenant was announced. He said that Prometheus was the first part of a new trilogy that will lead up to Alien. He has said that. So basically, that's the gap that has to be filled by the new movie, which hasn't even been announced yet. And if they follow the timeline, it won't even be out until 2023. So yeah, that's what he said.
All right. There's just a lot in the franchise with the xenomorph and other morphs on like trying to track how it progresses.
It's confusing. For sure.
Yeah. But it's also really fun. Like
it is really. It's a cool universe.
Yeah. Like I kind of where I'm divided on Prometheus is like it doesn't really show the xenomorphs in it, and like it doesn't really feel like a prequel until like the last 10-20 minutes.
Yeah, I guess it's until it's really until you come into that room that you recognize that you're like, oh shoot.
Yeah. So yeah, it's also really interesting because you can explore like different things. Like this is the first mention of really like the engineers and like how any of this got started, and it's more exciting than just saying like, oh, this is an alien came from another planet, you know? So it does really.
Well, especially where the first Alien has such a cool setup of like the room full of eggs. Yeah. Like, how do you explain that?
I also, this is very sidetracking, but I like thinking that this is in the same universe as Blade Runner, because then that's how I picture Earth is like totally run down and everybody's trying to be sent off world. And so that's why like there's all of these different worlds that are trying to be populated and why they're like searching for things. And
the only thing that messes me up with assuming that Blade Runner and this are in the same universe, I guess Ridley Scott has said they are the same universe, but is like replicants versus the androids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know they're different for sure, but that's just, I mean, when I was watching these before I heard that they were the same universe, I just pictured Earth as Earth. Yeah. But when you picture Earth the way it is in Blade Runner, it makes more sense that they're trying to send civilians out.
I guess even as I'm talking about it, like Samsung and Apple both make cell phones. You know what I mean? It's unlikely that one company would have the monopoly on robots.
Yeah, and maybe like one is taking over Earth. Yeah. And making sure that's
it's okay. Like the Tyrell company makes replicants where the Wayland Corporation makes the androids the way they do.
Yeah. So I don't know, it just makes it all feel more, I don't know what the right word is, but just like everybody's just kind of grasping on to whatever like hope they can find for like a new life or a new world. And these xenomorphs are kind of getting everywhere and making everything suck. And
because the freaking Wayland Corporation is just like, we want one. Mm-hmm. We want one real bad.
Yeah. Well, but that's all David, right? Like, what do you think?
It's like implanted in David from Wayland. Yeah. Kind of. Yeah, because like when I was reading the trivia, that opening scene between Wayland and David.
In Covenant, you mean?
Yeah, in Covenant. Wayland pretty much says like, you can't create life. And so then it becomes like David's entire mission to create life. So.
That scene is such a freaking power move when he just like, because David talks about like wanting to write music or whatever, and Wayland is just like, you can't create. Now pass me this tea. And it's like a foot away from him. Yeah. Such a power move. Dude's got a huge, you know.
Okay.
Moving on.
We're saying he's flexing on people. Or on androids, I guess. Plus, like I said, I think that, Michael Fassbender gives the most compelling performance out of the entire franchise. Yeah. So when I'm not like trying to dunk on Aliens because it is rad. Mm-hmm. I just think that the elements of Prometheus and specifically Covenant is my favorite. Add up to a greater whole than what the original trilogy offers me.
Yeah, it definitely takes the time to build up the story and the characters rather than just like, let's kill this alien.
And plus, one of my biggest complaints that still stands, and I understand limitations of the time, right, is that in Alien and even in Aliens, you don't see the xenomorph very much until like the very end.
But it's way better than Alien 3.
We'll get to Alien 3. Don't even worry.
Okay.
We're going to save that for last because we're going to have a giant dookie on it.
Yes.
But in Covenant specifically, they're all over the place and they are rad. Yeah. The freaking backbursting scene is
that one's so gross.
One of the craziest things I've ever seen on a movie.
So yeah, that one's just cool because it's just like all of a sudden everyone's infected and you're just seeing everyone explode and this girl's getting her head chopped off and
that's pretty rad.
And like we kind of think we know how the xenomorph works at this point, but then all of a sudden there's all these spores and it's different. And
yeah. Well, and like I think both of the way that the protomorphs come out, like the backbursting scene and then the other one just like out of the dude's mouth.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah. It's cool how they can just like switch up like the same kind of formula, but just like they make it so much grosser. Like they really do.
Oh yeah.
And they're like spiky.
Well, they've got so much more to work with, like as far as technology goes, so it makes sense. Like, and then those little dudes are so rad. They're just like just like zipping around, and they're so fast, and this is great.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, dude, I never got another Sonic the Hedgehog in the entire franchise, and it disappoints me. Alien 3 came close.
Just, I don't know, hope for Awakening.
Let's hope so.
Cross your fingers, or maybe watch Resurrection if you're really, really wanting that.
I don't know. Maybe if I'm like feeling a lot of self-loathing one night, like I'll sit down and watch Resurrection. But yeah, like the action, the violence in Prometheus and Covenant are so much cooler. Yeah. Aside from when they show the same shot of the head floating in the fountain like 95 times.
Like, we get it.
Like they just kept coming back to it. I just like by the fourth time I was like, man, they're just really proud of that shot. Like,
probably took a lot of work.
They just kept showing it.
Prometheus and Covenant had just some amazing shots, specifically 100%. Covenant.
Yeah.
Like just when we first see the like city area with all the people, like
that's ingrained. I can't even use words to describe how incredible that sequence is. No joke. Like the first hour and a half of Covenant is pretty much flawless. It falls off a little bit at the end just because of how derivative it gets.
Yeah.
even to the point of like they throw an alien out of an airlock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so like the end definitely falls off a little bit for me, but the first hour and a half of that movie honestly is flawless.
It is. And just like so beautiful.
Because they show you, and it's not even, they don't even make you wait that long to see what happens, but like you walk in and it's just all these charred people.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the sequence shows David coming down, and then the virus just goes through everybody, like, it's just so freaking good.
We're all just sitting here
Just
picturing it.
Seriously,
about
like
it.
that shot, like that entire sequence of them showing up to the city is probably the best part of, like, the best sequence in the franchise, I think.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But that, yeah, I mean, I could, like, those movies have made me like Alien a lot more, which is, I don't know, kind of cheap, because a lot of movies don't get that chance of like to have their universe fleshed out. And honestly, if it wasn't so highly recommended by, it was my brother-in-law that told us to watch all of these, I would not have watched any more
Shout
past the
out
first
to
one.
Berto.
Yeah, shout out to Berto. I would not have watched more past the first one, but he was so insistent that I was like, okay, we'll do it. And like Prometheus and Covenant just are incredible.
Yeah.
And also a good idea to finish off with Alien 3. He told us to watch Alien, Aliens, Prometheus, Covenant, and then Alien 3. And I think if I had watched Alien 3, I probably just wouldn't have watched any more either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yikes.
Because it's been a while. It honestly has been a long time since I have watched a movie that I would just call bad. Just like a bad movie.
So bad.
But Alien 3 did it. Alien cubed.
Alien cubed.
Yeah. So yeah.
I have a question.
What's your question?
And this is just all like assuming things or whatever, and maybe something like this will be answered in Awakening. But we see like the androids in every single movie except Prometheus, but Prometheus is
David's in Prometheus.
sorry. Except for Covenant with the other David.
What is his name?
Oh, I just forgot, and
I have it
I
pulled
loved
up.
him.
Like he's a genuinely good guy.
Walter.
Okay.
Walter, okay. Loved him.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, all of the other movies, the android is like so set on taking the alien and
Except
wanting
for
the alien.
Bishop.
But I think
Yeah,
that
Bishop is
Bishop
dope.
is. I don't think he's as dope as we think he is.
You suck.
I
love
Bishop.
him, but
Don't take Bishop from us.
I think that it was Bishop that impregnated
Ridley?
Ridley with the monster somehow. Like I think something happened with him. That's the only
That's so
explanation
harsh.
in my mind as to an alien actually making it on their
How
ship.
dare you slander the name of Bishop? He got ripped apart.
I love
for Ridley.
him.
I just yelled. I'm sorry.
That's
love
okay.
him.
I like the passion.
But like I just can't help but think that it's him because I don't know. I just think that these androids have something in their technology that makes them need this because of David. I think that somehow he has like infiltrated the company and
Maybe. I don't know. I kind of just feel like the beginning of the third one was just like, oh, there's an alien on there. Everyone's dead.
that's fair.
It was just kind of
Yeah.
like a cheap, we don't have
That's
to pay
totally
these
fair.
guys.
Like I don't like
Yeah.
it
No.
anyway, but that was just my thought is that like all the androids are set up to transfer the alien to other populations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we already have a podcast at length discussing Alien, and a lot of the things that I say about it do still stand. It is silly at some points. The Sonic the Hedgehog thing is still one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
And the alien, like it,
The
Xenomorph
alien
doesn't
is
make
cool.
sense yet in Alien if you haven't
Yeah.
seen the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. and honestly, it just comes down to, I think, when it was made. Like,
Yeah.
my annoyances with it are mostly, I think, on me more than on the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. And I do feel bad for a lot of the things I said about it because now, after watching all of these other movies, I love Alien, especially after watching Aliens 3.
Right.
Because you can really
Give me
appreciate it.
Alien any day.
But Sid, I think it's time for you to make your case. Why is Aliens the best one?
I think Aliens is the best one because you're still kind of in that claustrophobic feel of we're stuck in this tiny place. A million aliens are coming to kill us. So I feel like it really capitalizes on like the feel of the first Alien, but makes what that one failed at better. And I don't know, I think it's just because I do really like Prometheus and Covenant, but I think this one, it just like, it feels like more true to home.
That's fair. Prometheus and Covenant are stylistically very different.
Yeah.
And one thing that James Cameron did very successfully was carry over the vibe of the original Alien.
Yeah.
It's impressive that they're directed by two different people, honestly.
Yeah. And yeah, I really like Ripley's character arc, and I like the new characters. I think they really, they took what's good about the first Alien and just enhanced it.
I totally agree with that. And we got to see so much more of the xenomorphs.
And they look way better.
Yeah,
They do.
they're so cool. And
That
we
part
get to
where
see...
there's like a million of them crawling.
Yeah.
And also, Hicks is a good guy.
Mhm.
And I love him.
Hicks is cool.
And like the acid blood we get to see
Actually
again,
comes
which
into play.
I love that. And the one bad guy, what's his name,
Oh,
that like locks her and the girl in the room with the
Oh, that dude's such a prick.
yeah.
What is his name?
I feel like that
because
one,
he wanted to bring the xenomorph.
Yeah.
He was the one
He wanted
in
it
that movie that wanted to bring the
I feel like
xenomorph back.
Aliens.
Burke, right?
Burke, yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like more emotional and like you actually care when some of the characters die instead of like the other one where you're just like, I don't even know who that was, you know?
Also, Bill Paxton as like a total
Oh my
freaking
gosh.
douchebag
He's amazing.
is incredible.
Oh my gosh.
And, like at the beginning, I was groaning every time he opened his mouth, and at the end, I was just like trying to high five him through the screen.
When they crash and he's just game over, man. This is it.
He has so many good lines.
He's amazing in that.
Like, that's never a role that I would ever cast Bill Paxton in a million years. Mostly because I only see him in Twister. I just imagine that every movie he made, he thought he was still on the set of Twister.
Even in Titanic?
He's in Titanic?
Yeah, he's the I don't know, the guy who's looking for the necklace.
Man, the 90s were weird.
They were weird.
We gave Bill Paxton a career. Can you believe that? What were we thinking? Here's the thing. He's infinitely more wealthy than I am. So good on you, Bill Paxton. I just can't believe that we as a community did it.
Did you not know that Bill Paxton is dead?
Is he dead?
I think this is the second time this has happened on the podcast. Who else was it?
Oh, he died in 2017. Jeez. Well, rest in peace, Bill Paxton. Here's the thing. Very successful dude. He's still got acting credits. He had a movie come out this year.
Wow.
Yeah, he was in The Circle. Is that the one with Tom Hanks?
Oh, yeah. That one that was supposed to be terrible.
Did you see it, Sid?
No, my brother did. He said it was awful.
Yeah. Jeez. Bill Paxton was in that. Dude, he was in Nightcrawler?
Really?
That's a great movie.
Who was he in Nightcrawler? I don't remember
don't
that
know.
movie well enough.
We need to
know,
rewatch that,
actually.
Becca.
We do.
It's a really good movie. I don't know. He was in it. He was a dude. Yeah, consistently acted up till the end. Good job, Bill Paxton. He was in the Limp Bizkit Eat You Alive video short.
All right.
Spy Kids 2.
Oh, you're right.
It's a
He
good
was
one.
in Mighty Joe Young.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Titanic, Twister, Apollo. He's actually really good in Apollo 13. I'll be straight up about that. Because everybody's really good in Apollo 13. That's just a great movie. Yeah. Well, R.I.P. Bill Paxton.
I think like all the side characters are really good in Aliens. Like
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
They're all
only
good.
one that really manages to pull off the ensemble, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Because every Alien movie has a huge cast of characters.
Yeah.
Aliens is the only one that I cared about more than like 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know, it feels like you spend a little more time with them before everyone starts getting murdered.
I would say with the exception of Covenant. I cared about most of the people in Covenant.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But Covenant was like more about the people than the I don't know.
Yeah, like I cared about the captain and...
Like, I think, like in the first Aliens, like the main character is Ripley.
Uh-huh.
And in Prometheus and Covenant, like, yeah, we have our main characters, but they also really flesh out the other characters.
Mm-hmm.
And you care more about them.
Like Tennessee is actually pretty rad.
Uh-huh.
Even though I have such a hard time taking him seriously in like real roles.
Yeah.
It's John C. Reilly, right?
No, it's,
No. It's
shoot. What is his name?
who is it? I have all of it pulled up. Danny McBride.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, John C. Reilly is in Gangs of New York.
Oh, yeah, he is.
And I cannot take him seriously in that
Right.
movie. I just cannot. I just see Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny McBride is another one that I have a really hard time taking seriously, but he does a good job.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Biggest cock tease ever. Freaking James Franco.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So when I mentioned it last time, I was like, oh, it's the one with James Franco. I had seen Covenant like a few years ago. And for some reason, I always thought that he was the one who had like the back burster.
Oh.
And
that would have been cool.
yeah, because I don't know. That's just what I thought from the trailers. And so last week when I was like, oh, the one with James Franco, and you're like, well, he's hardly in it. And then I rewatched it and I was like, oh, he's hardly in it. Like he dies the
First
second you see
scene.
him.
Yeah. I didn't even realize it was him until she looked at the until she watched the video back.
Yeah. There were apparently like deleted scenes that he was in
don't
more,
care.
but still, like,
I've learned my lesson from Alien 3. Scenes are deleted for a reason.
yeah. Like he really got paid all that much just to like lie there in a pod and just like
Dude.
burn up.
Biggest he's a scam artist. But good for you, James Franco. I can't knock the hustle, man. No, Aliens though, back to that, is actually really rad. It's really well done. It's absolutely better than the first one. Mm-hmm. Adding in the little girl was a good touch. Let Ripley flex her motherly instincts a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all the characters are great.
Yeah.
Bishop's super cool.
I love Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
The first memory I have of Aliens, my mom was watching it, and I like came in at the part when like Bishop is like ripped in half and he's holding on to Newt and he's just like trying so hard, and I was just like, he'd be so dead. And my mom's like, no, he is a robot. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. It's like, I thought this was supposed to be a human, just like his like spine is hanging out.
That's funny.
Yeah. I was gonna say one other thing, but I don't remember. About Aliens. Good job, James Cameron. You did a good job.
You did great, but
Now,
I don't know.
Alien 3
Time to crap on it.
was nominated for a single Academy Award. I'd like you to guess what it is.
What could it possibly be?
I just want you to guess.
I want to guess
Soundtrack?
best special effects, but they're really not that good.
No, they're awful.
Maybe sound design.
It was nominated for Best Visual Effects.
Oh man.
No.
which tells you where our standards were in 1992.
Oh my gosh.
Because the alien in this movie looks like a pile of steaming trash.
Yeah.
And
does
sometimes it's
not look
green.
good.
Yeah, sometimes it's green.
Ugh.
Also, I feel like even like Prometheus and Covenant kind of crap on Alien 3 because it's dependent on what species it goes into, but then all of a sudden we just get a xenomorph out of a bison.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there were, I mean, reading the trivia for it, and like there was a lot of turmoil behind the scenes and just rewrites all over the place. So, I mean, you can understand why it's that bad, but also you can't forgive it for being that bad.
Yeah, you can't just pretend it's not that bad.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because even as we were watching it, I was telling Becca, I was like, literally, like, from a filmmaking standpoint, this is pretty good. Mm-hmm. Like, apart from the visual effects that look like trash. Like, the scenes where the alien was a man in a suit looked infinitely better than when it was freaking Nintendo 64 graphics.
Yeah.
But the acting is good.
Uh-huh.
It's well directed.
Yeah. I honestly
the soundtrack is good.
Yeah. I didn't mind like the first half where it's like she gets there and she's like trying to figure out like the whole situation with all these prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a really cool idea, but then like once
Same.
like the alien really started to come out, I was just not into it.
I think it's when the doctor died for me that it was just like, okay.
My issues come down to this. The screenplay is what sinks this movie 100%.
Yeah.
The tools were all there, but the screenplay is utter trash. And I think for a few reasons. One, I half agree with you that the first half I was in, except for the fact that we don't see the alien until almost an hour into the movie.
It's very true.
Yeah, we did say that a few times while we were watching it. Like, where's the alien?
If it wasn't an alien movie, then the first half is good.
Yeah.
But it is an alien movie, and I want an alien.
Very true.
Right? Two, the first act is way too long.
Yeah.
Right? The first half of the movie is the first act.
The whole movie is very long.
It's true. Well, and it's also the most significant addition between the regular and the director's cut. It's almost a half hour longer.
Okay.
So, and we did watch the director's cut.
Did you know that actually David Fincher refused to make a director's cut?
Oh, really?
So someone else did it.
They just added in all the deleted scenes.
Disowned this movie.
Well, yeah, it's trash.
Oh, yeah.
Well, when you think about it, he's, in the next 5 years making Fight Club and 7?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was really his fault.
No. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's very long. And definitely at the beginning when, like, she looks at the bodies or, what, like, and, like, they take so much time trying to figure out where the alien is that you're just like, show me the stupid alien. Like, and I mean, like the scene where like it was like bursting out of the cow while they're throwing them into the furnace was good, but it was just like, I'm so sick of this. Just show me the alien.
Yeah. At that point, I was already bored.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the worst sin that a movie can commit is to bore me.
Yeah.
And I was bored. My other big gripe is that the second act disowns the first act, and the third act disowns the first two acts. The things that happen in Act 1 have no bearing on what happens in Act 2. Like, when they kill the doctor, all of a sudden, he doesn't matter. His death doesn't matter. They just forget about him. And I'm like, oh, so this dude that we just spent an hour and a half on, just...
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah, and they, like, set up all these prisoners to be like really dangerous men, and they're really dangerous towards Ripley, but then like as soon as the alien comes out, like, yeah, it makes sense that they'd all work together to kill it, but like it'd be so much more interesting if there were two different threats coming at either side.
Yeah, they didn't capitalize on the premise at all.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, these guys are horrible in the beginning, oh, there's an alien, this guy's gonna sacrifice himself for Ripley even though he tried to rape her a half hour ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then in the third act, like Dylan, is that his name?
I don't know.
I think the one guy that's like, oh yeah, I'll kill you after we kill the alien.
Refuses to let her sacrifice herself as bait for the alien, but he has to die.
Yeah, like what is That's so stupid.
And the alien is just like, molten lead, no big deal.
Yeah.
Water?
And then it
Physics
explodes.
killed it. Like, it's-
explodes. Here's the thing. Alien 3 also has a very fundamental misunderstanding of the xenomorph, I feel like. Because, for one, and I feel like the editor had to have just been, like, intoxicated the entire time for that initial sequence where it's, like, cutting between the action on the ship and the credits. Because that's a horrible, horrible, horrible sequence. It makes no sense.
Yes.
And they're like trying to set it up to be mysterious. But the whole thing revolves around he uses the acid to start a fire, I guess. The alien does.
I had no idea what was going
Maybe,
on.
right?
Yeah.
And he at the very least burns a hole into the girl's cryopod.
But nothing happened to her. It was
So
all...
my question is this, is how come never before and never after the aliens weaponize their blood? They don't have acid spit, do they?
I think
don't
they
think
do
so.
because the xenomorph spit at that one guy and it got on his face and then he went into the fan.
I don't remember that.
You remember?
Because
And
they
when-
don't have acid spit in any of the other movies.
and I don't know if it was spit necessarily, but he shot something at the guy.
I
and it
know
was
who you're talking
acid.
about. That's, yeah.
So I guess in this movie,
Because that's
The
my question
alien
is, like, did the
can
alien
weaponize
stub,
it.
like, did the alien stub his toe and then, like, bled all over the place and
Yeah.
put holes in things?
You know, maybe he was just an accident and he feels really bad for their entire ship crashing. Who knows?
Could be.
He's got a paper cut.
Yeah. But that's the thing is, like, and that's why the movie, that's part of why it's so frustrating, is because it's well made. And the acting is good, even with the terrible script they're given.
Yeah.
It's hard to find somebody that really gives a weak performance. The score is fine. Really, the doctor's performance I actually thought was really impressive.
Yeah.
I enjoyed his performance a lot. Ripley, I mean, Sigourney Weaver is always good as Ripley. The kind of power struggle between the doctor and the superintendent was cool. Like, there's a lot of cool potential there, but it was so boring.
Yeah. They just like took anything that could be interesting and just like immediately killed that character.
Yeah.
Like they kill the superintendent. They kill like the one crazy guy who's like worshipping the alien,
Yeah.
I guess. And it's just like I don't know, they could have done something so much more interesting than what we've gotten for every other movie.
And we started kind of pointing this out, but like Becca kept asking, like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? And the only answer I could ever come up with is so that the rest of the movie can be.
Yeah.
Like, things were happening just for the sake of happening. Like, it was so focus tested that they were like, you know, it would be really cool. They try and use all this flammable liquid, but then somebody drops a flare. And they're like, okay, we'll throw that in. And it's like, why did you even have the flare on you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah, like why would you put it in your mouth? And like, I don't know.
Yeah, at least keep it in a backpack or something.
If it's that big of a deal, like, ugh, yeah.
And then again, like, even at that scene, we were just like, okay, people are dying. Like, they need to thin the crowd somehow. You know what I mean? But like, have the alien kill them. It's an alien movie.
Yeah. Like make the alien the threat.
Not their own incompetence.
Yeah.
But they couldn't put him in a suit, and the visual effects weren't good enough, so they had to do
Seriously.
as little of the alien
But
as
that's the
possible.
thing is, the scenes with guy in a suit, because there were scenes with guy in a suit in Alien 3.
And it was a
looked
lot better.
Fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not expecting the 1992 Alien to look as good as the one in Alien Covenant. You know what I mean? But for heaven's sake, man, like, realize that your crap looks bad.
Yeah. It's just not good.
It just looks so bad.
Like, honestly, the only time that I can think that the alien looks good is like when Ripley's pressed against the wall and it's like right up in her face. But that
Oh, yeah.
is
That-
most likely
That 25 seconds is incredible.
Yeah. But that shot is most likely practical effects.
Yeah.
I would guess. So that's really the only thing that looks good.
Yeah, that entire that like 25 seconds where it's like up in her face,
Yeah.
and that is
That was great.
incredible.
Yeah.
And I mean, that still is all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, probably it's the most famous shot from that movie. I had seen that shot.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you say about Alien Cubed?
It sucks.
It's just bad. Like, and it's not like, I mean, I feel like we've described it, right? It all comes down to the screenplay, and it's just so obviously overwritten that like it just ruined anything the movie could be.
Yeah. There's just too much going on, but also not
Nothing
a lot.
happens.
Yeah. Yeah, really my biggest complaint is just so long. And of course, like I did watch the extended version, but it's just like towards the end you're just so bored and you're just kill it already.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, even at the same time though, like we watched the extended version as well. You could cut out any 30-minute segment of that movie and it would still be boring.
Yeah.
Let alone if you picked and choose, like
Yeah.
if you pick and choose the worst parts.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the team coming at the end and having it be human Bishop.
That made no sense.
That was dumb.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
he was trying to prove that he was human, and that would make her trust him for some reason.
I just got so far past caring that I was just like, I don't care who these people are. Just show me how it dies.
Yeah, just show me how Ripley dies.
Yeah,
because she's gonna kill herself.
Like if they want to have those guys, have them come in the beginning, or like actually set them up as a threat. All of a sudden they're just there, and who cares?
And
and it's so random. It's like, oh, they're gonna come in 4 days. Oh, now 12 hours. Oh, just kidding, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
and I feel like now that I think about it, like the part in Prometheus, where she does the like self-abortion of the alien baby.
Yeah.
That almost feels like Ridley Scott kind of winking at Alien 3, being like, because basically Alien 3, they present it, they say she's got an alien inside of her, therefore she's going to die, right? And it goes back to the Hitchcock bomb under the table, right? So, which if you've never heard me explain this before, audience, Hitchcock explained suspense as two men sitting at a table with a bomb under the table. And you open the scene and it's just two guys talking, right? And then you pan the camera underneath and you show that there is a bomb under the table ticking and it's going to go off. And instantly every word that they say becomes suspenseful, but only if either they don't know or only one of them knows about the bomb, right? Because then we as the audience are in the know on something that one of the characters is not. The Lessons from the Screenplay video about the first scene of Inglourious Bastards describes this really well. But point being, they reveal to us the conversation, the table, the bomb, and both people all at once.
Yeah.
In Alien 3. So there's no suspense and there's no other option, right? She's not like, cut this out of me, get it out of me. She's just like, I have to die.
Yeah.
And so for the last hour and change of the movie, we're just waiting to see how Ripley dies. Which is fine. It's fine to end with her dying. But like, there's no longer any suspense because we're just like, oh, we know the alien's not going to kill you because it already didn't kill you. We know you're going to have to kill yourself. So how's that going to happen?
Yeah.
and the alien becomes less scary because like we don't care about all of these people because who cares? We only care about Ripley, and now we don't have to worry about the alien killing her anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
so in summary, screenplay bad.
yes.
Yeah.
Go watch the other ones.
But yeah, do watch the other ones. Anything else? We covered all 5.
No.
Yeah. Just end on a good note, though. The other ones are good.
The other ones are so rad.
They're really good.
So let's go ahead. We're going to have everybody, we're not going to do the Weston scale or anything, but we are going to have everybody rank the 5 Alien movies that we watched from best to worst. I am prepared with my rankings. Are you guys ready, or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. And then Sid, will you be second?
Yeah.
Okay. My ranking is as follows. Number 1, Alien Covenant. Number 2, Aliens. Number 3, depending on if I answer now or in 15 seconds, it could either be Alien or Prometheus. I think those are on fairly similar levels. And then number 825, Alien Cubed. And in between there is every movie that has ever said the word alien.
What about like that one like Mars Needs Moms. Is that above Alien Cubed?
I've never heard of that, but it sounds incredible.
It's like one of the worst Disney movies.
There's no way this is real. A young boy named Milo gains a deeper appreciation for his mom after Martians come to Earth to take her away.
So it was like the Jimmy Neutron movie above Alien Cubed?
The Jimmy Neutron movie is above Alien Covenant.
Yeah, very true.
The Jimmy Neutron movie is
That
incredible.
movie's amazing. Let's watch that. Let's review that.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
All right, Sid, you're up.
Okay. Number 1, Aliens. Number 2, Covenant. Number 3, Alien. Number 4, Prometheus. And I don't.
Just don't even rank it.
You know where it is. You guys know where it is.
Oh,
You're the wild
hard
card here, Becca. Sid and I both revealed our hands earlier by saying which one was our favorite.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of mentioned which one was my favorite, but like then when I talk about the different movies, like I don't know, I just like them all for different reasons.
So number 1 is Alien Cubed.
Except for that one. That one's definitely let's get that as far away from me as possible. But the mood that I'm in right now, I think I'm gonna go Aliens as my favorite.
What?
Wow. You're dissenting. You're sleeping on the couch.
Hey,
No, I'm not.
You can sleep on my couch.
All right. But second is Covenant. And third is Prometheus. But that order of 3 for me honestly can change at any point.
And then
'Cause-
Alien.
Yeah, and then Alien is fourth. Because even like at the beginning of like when we first started the podcast, I came in thinking Prometheus was Prometheus, Aliens, Covenant. And then I don't know, just talking about them, I think I like Aliens the best. And I kept like while we were talking about Prometheus, I kept forgetting what happened. So I think that tells me that it's not my favorite.
That's fair.
So Aliens, Covenant, Prometheus, Alien is my ranking.
And then we just forget about Alien Cubed.
Yes.
Erase it from your memory.
Just seriously, don't waste your time.
Mm-mm.
Aliens has a happy ending.
Uh-huh.
Just end the series there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Everything's fine and dandy after then.
Yeah. All right, folks. That concludes our discussion of the Alien franchise. We are going to move on to other topics now. We're going to briefly go over the other movies that we've watched in the past week, as well as any other movie news that we feel is appropriate. If this is where you leave us, we understand. You can contact us if you want to. We'd love to hear from you at contact@wewatchpodcast.com. You can also slide into the DMs, Instagram @WeWatchPodcast, Twitter @WeWatchPodcast, or Facebook.com/WeWatchPodcast. Basically, we are everywhere under the name We Watch Podcast. We'd love to hear from you. We love you. And now on to other topics. What have we got, guys?
I watched The Shining.
Yay!
How
it-
good is it?
It was so good. Like, oh my gosh. I don't know. It was very different than what I was expecting. But oh my gosh. Like the last half hour was so perfect and amazing.
Oh my god, it just gets better. It's a movie that
Yeah.
like starts out really high and then just gets better and better.
Yeah. I mean, I am like a little disappointed that it hasn't really stuck with me this week. But that could just be because I've been so focused on watching all these Alien.
Did you watch
movies.
all of them this week?
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. Which was fun, but also like I didn't have any time to watch anything else or think about anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm so glad I got to watch it, and it was just amazing. And I watched 2 Stanley Kubricks in 2 days, and I was living for it.
Was the other one Dr. Strangelove?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I've watched.
I love The Shining. I've only seen it once, but ever since we watched it, I've been wanting to watch it again.
It'll go on the list for this year. Don't worry.
Oh, I know. I will make sure that all the ones I want to watch will be on the list.
Right. I'm just gonna slip the witch
all
on there
5
again.
of them. No.
Yep.
I think that I deserve some veto power this year, and I am vetoing The Witch.
I am putting It Follows and It Comes at Night on there.
I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with The Witch.
Blah. The Witch is so good.
It's
and
so
The Lighthouse
eerie.
comes out this
Oh my gosh, I
year.
forgot about that. Blessings.
Blessings on blessings. We watched Videodrome from David Cronenberg.
Okay.
That we did.
It was fine.
It was fine. It didn't do what I wanted it to do, but that's okay.
Becca has a really bad habit of projecting her expectations onto movies.
I do it very subconsciously.
I know.
I don't even realize that I have such high expectations or such specific expectations for movies when we go watch them. But if they're not met, I don't like the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's just as simple as that. Like, if I think that's why I hated Suspiria so much the first time we saw it.
You just wanted it to be like a dance concert they filmed?
I don't even know. Like, I don't even really have any expectations going into it because I don't think I'd even seen a trailer. All I had was what you told me about it, which was it's a scary dance movie.
It's fair. I have since learned to keep Becca as not in the dark as possible.
Except about the length of a movie.
No, I need to tell you that because if you don't know how long it is, then you hate it.
Oh, as not, I thought you were saying as dark as possible.
No,
Yes.
here's the thing. I like to go into movies. I like to know who made it, what's it called, and how long is it. If I know anything past that, it's too much.
I need to know exactly what it's about.
Yeah. I just need to send you to watch trailers before we go see anything.
Yeah.
Without me.
It's all subconscious, but Videodrome, which is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I'm like even having a hard time really. No, I remember it, but
It's just it's weird.
this was a movie that was sci-fi where I didn't want sci-fi.
Yeah, because the whole point of it is like criticizing our fetishization of violence in media, basically. That like basically how destructive it is to our society to think that violence and death are awesome.
Mm-hmm. But have you seen John Wick?
I have.
I don't think David Cronenberg has.
Maybe he has.
At least not when he made that.
Well, yeah, because this came out in 1983.
Yeah.
And I think it's a valid thing to do, which is why I really, really, really want to watch Funny Games because it's about the same thing,
But without sci-fi.
but without sci-fi.
Yeah, and that was I wanted to see like real consequences, not made up sci-fi consequences to the violence and
Well, it's like David Cronenberg was like, I have this really cool idea to make, because basically what the premise of it is that the main character runs a sleazy cable channel and he's always looking for the next big thing, and he comes across this thing called Videodrome, which is basically just like videos of people getting tortured and murdered. And so he wants to track it down and figure out where it's being made and everything. But then it turns out that Videodrome is an experiment by a corporation that uses specific signals from a TV to give you a brain tumor, which gives you hallucinations, and all this weird crap.
But then some of the hallucinations have real effects, and it's weird. Like
it's complicated what's real and what's not.
Like as soon as he starts hallucinating, which is not very far into the movie, I had no idea.
You lose a grasp on what's real and what's not, and because of that, the consequences, it's hard to tell if the consequences are real or not. So it's kind of like when you're in a dream and like you hit somebody with your car in your dream or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no, my life is over. And then you wake up and you're like, oh no, I'm fine. But it was like, you would like wake up every 5 or 10 minutes in this movie and be like, oh no, we're fine. And you're like, oh, but are we? You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. So I liked what it was trying to do. I just don't think it did it the right way.
Yeah. Still, the practical effects, awesome.
Oh yeah, they were really cool.
They do all of these things where like the TV starts to breathe.
That's cool.
Which it's really awesome looking.
Just imagining what that could look like is awesome.
Yeah, with like think like the 80s practical effects, like The Thing and all that kind of stuff, where it's like all of it's like pretty clearly like stop motion clay basically.
Yeah.
But it just looks awesome.
Yeah.
So they do the tapes will breathe, the TV breathes.
And they'll be all like veiny.
Yeah, the TV like gets
really
it gets
cool.
like skin color on it with veins on it and everything.
That's cool.
It's really cool.
Okay.
But I agree with Becca. Like I feel like the message is a little bit lost because of how ridiculous it gets. Like Scanners, it's the thing about that made Scanners, right? And Scanners was awesome because it didn't feel like there were any stakes, right? It was
Yeah.
just like, here is a sci-fi action movie about psychic people who go around murdering people. And the goal is to kill the guy who is psychically murdering people. And once you kill him, then you win. But like this one felt like it was both trying to communicate something serious while having all of these zany practical effects, right?
Well, and the whole thing fell apart because they were trying to brainwash him into using Videodrome on his cable so that everybody could become brainwashed. But all he wanted from the very beginning
Was to put Videodrome on his station.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
So it like was like,
So it was like they came up with this really convoluted plan, and then he walked right into it and was like, yeah, I want in. And they're like, but we have this plan. So,
yeah.
but it's James Woods, and he's always fun to see in things.
Who's that again?
Hades,
Oh, okay. Now I just want to watch Hercules.
right?
What a great movie.
But then apart from that, we just watched a bunch of Westworld.
Yeah.
I just watched a bunch of Cold Case Files, so
Oh, jeez. Is that on Netflix?
it's on Amazon.
Oh, gross.
And
The Amazon app is so disgusting. I
don't
hate
use-
it.
Well, I just use the Amazon on my computer. Sorry to offend you, sir.
That's all right.
Yeah, the app doesn't work with Chromecast,
So we have to do it on the Xbox.
Oh my gosh, life is so hard.
It really is.
But we're going to cancel our
So
Prime.
sorry.
So
I just use my mom's, so
can I use your mom's?
no. My mom's gonna be like, "So what are all these? Can you play guitar now? Why'd you?" She'd be like, "Is this a snuff film you ordered?" No.
As I order all of these random 80s sci-fi criterions on your
You
mom's
know
Prime
Russian,
account.
Sid? It's like, yes, I do, of course.
Man. Again, your reminder, Midsummer comes out in 10 days.
Also, it's midsummer.
Today is Midsummer. Today is the summer solstice.
Go have your pagan rituals.
Yeah.
And
I saw this headline that A24 posted the other day that was like, Midsummer will do for pagan solstice rituals what Psycho did for showers.
Oh my gosh.
Which is pretty great.
Yeah, 10 days.
10 days. I can't wait. A week from Wednesday. Or a week from Tuesday is when we're going.
Yes.
I just bought tickets. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood comes out at the end of the month of July. The Lighthouse comes out this year. Irishman comes out this year. Child's Play is out now.
I'm going to see Toy Story tomorrow.
Blah.
Woo!
But yeah,
Don't
I think
ever say anything bad about Toy Story.
I won't. I just don't want. I don't care about Toy Story 4.
Then you don't get to see it.
Okay, I just saved $10. High five.
I don't know what to do right now.
Becca.
I like Toy Story. I also like saving money. Woo! I'm on both your sides.
That's great. I think that'll do it for us, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we love you. We thank you for listening to our retrospective on the Alien franchise. Again, if you want to get in contact with us, contact@wewatchpodcast.com or hit us up on any of the social medias at WeWatchPodcast. We appreciate you. We love you. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.